Welcome into Glorious Takes. I am your host, Josh Reese. I appreciate you guys for giving this video a listen or watch, however you choose to view this video. If you enjoy this, please feel free to share and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I am the only person in Houston who is confident enough to wear a Pikachu shirt and give you great Houston sports talk. So today we're going to be talking about the Houston Rockets and can they catch the Warriors or the Spurs? Short answer, no. They cannot catch the Warriors or the Spurs. And to even think they can is a little bit silly. Let's be honest. Yes, it's physically possible that they can catch them. You just don't expect them to free fall that much. While it does look like the Warriors are falling faster than a meteorite, smacking down from Earth, smacking down from the skies to Earth, you expect a team like that to eventually right the ship. But right now it seems like they are in a complete tailspin. I'm taping this on Saturday, so on Friday night, you had these weird quotes come from Andre Iguodala when he found out that Steve Kerr was resting him and the entire team. He I'm pretty sure this is a direct quote saying, "We do what masters say," or something like that. It's eerily very, very. I'm taking that nearly word for word. Yeah, very strange quote. He also used some really derogatory language in a post game interview. It's just very strange time to be around the Warriors and to see the Warriors right now. They have not had to deal with this struggling, this losing. They came off that 73-game win season a year ago. This year they had Kevin Durant, and things seem sky high. And now, since Kevin Durant has gotten injured, things have just gotten worse and worse and worse for the Warriors. Right now, and they're in the midst of a 4-game stretch since KD has been out. And it's been pretty rough. I want to share these quick stats with you real quick. So before Kevin Durant went out, the Golden State Warriors had a 113.9 offensive rating, which was the highest in the NBA, and they had a 101.4 defensive rating, which was the second best in the NBA. And their pace, of course, was the second best, oddly enough. I don't know how this one happened, but the Brooklyn Nets have nearly a 104 pace, but the Golden State Warriors had a 103 pace, which means basically they're getting about 3 more possessions a game than most other teams. But since Kevin Durant has gone out, let me tell you these stats, and you can just see how vastly they've changed. The offense, which has been great, has dropped off significantly as they're now 104.2 rating on offense and a 104.9 rating on defense to go along with 98 pace, which is a big drop off from what they've had. Clearly, they've struggled a lot with Kevin Durant out, and they've yet to find much balance. A year ago, when they had the 73-game win season, so many guys were having career years. Klay Thompson had a career year. Stephen Curry had a career year. It was just an amazing run by the Warriors. But they've seemed to come down a little bit to earth this year. Even with Kevin Durant on the team, Stephen Curry has not been as efficient as he has been. His shooting percentage is down, and even since Kevin Durant has gone out, it's gone down even farther. Teams are starting to really key on him because they weren't able to do it before with Kevin Durant. So the Spurs are still trying to figure out life without him, and it's going to be pretty tough for them going forward. Now, as we're taping this on Saturday, the news was, of course, as I mentioned, they're going to be resting everyone on the team tonight, which is Saturday. So maybe they get to sit and watch other guys play, and maybe that kind of lights a fire underneath. Who knows? But it's just crazy town how much they have struggled without Kevin Durant, considering they did not have Kevin Durant last year and they were so much better team. I know people are going to be like, oh, they had Mo Spates last year. They had, Andrew Bogut. They had Harrison Barnes. Really? Those guys are the ones that turned the tide for you? Really? Really? You would think a team with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green could be able to beat a few teams in the NBA, but they have struggled mightily without Kevin Durant. They've forgotten to play basketball. Let's just put it that way. And they've been struggling a lot. 27% for Stephen Curry since Kevin Durant has gone down. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be getting any better anytime soon. He's struggled a lot this year. So we've talked about the Warriors. Now let's move on to the Spurs, who are also going to be dealing with some issues coming up. Right now, Kawhi Leonard is in the midst of the NBA's concussion protocol, so he's going to be gone for a little while. Of course, he is expected to return. But the big news is their second best scorer, LaMarcus Aldridge, is going to be out indefinitely with heart arrhythmia, which is basically a fluttering of the arteries inside the heart. I even saw, apparently it was speculated that that's something that could eventually create blood clots. I don't know how that can happen, but apparently it is something that can happen. So this is a very serious condition for LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, when you hear the word indefinitely, it does scare you a little bit, and you think that maybe this is the last time he's ever going to play in the NBA. Is he ever going to come back? That's not really what indefinitely means. Indefinitely is basically a team's way of saying, we're not really sure when he's going to come back, and it's way too premature to even say we're going to evaluate in 2 weeks or something like that. While he can come back sooner, who knows? It's just safer for a team to put out indefinitely because they don't know really when something like that is going to get resolved. Of course, he's going to go out for more tests, and as soon as the Spurs know more, the rest of the NBA will know more. But will the Spurs struggle without Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge? You would think so. And against top-tier competition, they probably will. But I think they're still going to be able to take care of business without him. That system that Greg Popovich runs is just insane. With the ball movement and everyone is able to get a good look. They've still got excellent defenders. While Kawhi is amazing, I was listening to Nick Wright recently. I believe it was Nick Wright that said this. The Spurs are actually 9 points better with Kawhi Leonard off the floor. That seems insane. Well, I guess the Spurs are going to get a chance to test that theory out without Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, the Spurs are not going to pack it in. They're definitely going to be going balls out, trying to get every win possible that they can. So I believe that the Warriors are probably going to struggle a little bit more, but the Spurs, I think, are going to be okay. I believe LaMarcus Aldridge will eventually be back. Apparently, this is something he's had to deal with for pretty much his entire life. I even saw a story that he dealt with this at birth. Apparently, he died at birth, and the doctors brought him back. So prayers for LaMarcus Aldridge. Hopefully, he gets better. The playoffs would just be pretty sad without him, but for the Rockets, the playoffs would be a little bit easier without the Spurs and without LaMarcus Aldridge and the Warriors continuing to flutter. It's a bad choice of words considering what LaMarcus Aldridge is going. I should say the Warriors continuing to falter. That's a better choice of words. So while the Rockets really have no chance to catch the Spurs or Warriors, what it could mean is potentially a better second round matchup for the Rockets, especially if the Spurs end up catching the Warriors and passing them, which is likely. That can happen if the Warriors do not get their act together. The Rockets could have a good chance on getting past the Warriors. The Rockets seem to be a much better shooting team than the Warriors this year, and especially if Kevin Durant still has injury concerns heading into the second round of the playoffs. Maybe he's going to be on a minutes restriction. Who knows? The possibilities are still endless. No one still knows when exactly Kevin Durant is coming back. So you could be looking at a lot better of a second round matchup if the Spurs are able to overtake the Warriors. So that's really what this jumbling around is all about right now. The Warriors are faltering. They had this massive lead for so long, but once Kevin Durant went out, they've kind of. And the Spurs are still a really good team. They are about to catch the Warriors, and while the Rockets seem to be still lockstead into that 3 seed, that second round matchup with whoever they face at the 2 seed could end up being wonders for them. So that's pretty much all I have on this topic here. I appreciate you guys for watching and giving this a view. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Mr. Joshua, and I will catch you guys on the flippity flop, as they say.